Business Sidekick.
Hi guys, welcome to the 11th episode of Business Sidekick. I'm Justyna, live chat content writer, and every 2 weeks I interview my guests to get to know more and more about building an online business, avoiding traps and mistakes, and get to know how to succeed. In today's episode, you'll listen to the interview with Suzie Blaszkiewicz, writer and researcher at GetApp. You'll learn what are the essential tools every startup should implement, and if you don't have a startup, it still can be a good software checklist for you. Get ready for a big dose of knowledge.
Business Sidekick.
Hello, Suzie. Thanks for coming. Can you please tell something about you and what's your area of expertise?
Yeah, hi. So my name is Suzie. I work for GetApp. I'm a writer here, so I'm basically researching and writing all day about topics in SaaS and trends in the industry. And I focus mainly on the customer service, marketing, and CRM markets. So kind of the more, I would say, social aspects of business software.
Okay, so I'm sure that you won't find my questions difficult. So here comes the first one. Can you tell me something about the types of software or applications that are available on the market?
I mean, there's so many different types of software available now. Depending on what you need, there's a software for almost everything. I would say there's kind of larger categories of software. So there's marketing, there's customer service, there's accounting software, there's software for project management, for analytics, types of software for anything really. So if you're a startup and you're working in e-commerce, one of the most important things that you need is a CMS or kind of a place to host your store, because in that case, your online store is your brand. So that means that your website is your brand. So looking for an e-commerce, a platform that can host your product in a really nice way is going to be essential for you.
CMS is a content management system that helps you to manage your website's content. The most popular is WordPress. It works very well for us here at LiveChat, but there are also others like Drupal and Joomla that you can also check. How does it work? For example, if you want to add an additional product on your website, you can add its picture and description by yourself without having to touch the website code. Fun, fun, fun!
Business Sidekick.
Okay, so let's imagine that I have a small business or a startup, as you mentioned, and I'm a solopreneur, or I hire only a couple of people. And I don't need anything fancy yet, but there surely are apps that can help me to be more productive and do my job better. What would it be?
For most startups, they're running on quite a small budget, or sometimes almost no budget at all.
Yeah.
And there's actually a lot of free tools out there that can really help you. I mean, some are things that people might be using already. So a productivity suite, for example, like the Google suite of apps, can be super handy because you can do a lot of different things with it. So with Google Docs and Google Sheets, you can write information, you can write things in there, you can share it really easily, so it's really good for collaboration, and it's free. So if you're using Gmail already, for example, this is a really good way to kind of get your team working together.
Google Apps for Work is a great starter for every team, but you might also check other productivity apps like Trello or Basecamp. These apps allow you to set up anything from to-do lists to tasks and notes. As all this can be shared with other users, you can always be on track of what your teammates are doing. Speaking of communication, Suzie also had something to say about emails.
I think in the beginning, emails is okay, but yeah, as your team starts to expand, it's going to be really difficult to get everyone on the same page, and email can take up a lot of time going back and forth. So there are things like Slack, for example. It's super popular right now, where people can really collaborate. You can have real-time conversations. It's like a messaging app, but it also allows you to share files, and they have different channels as well where you can have conversations with larger groups of people, not just those people in your organization, but other people, so that you can get work done a lot quicker.
Let's sum it up.
If you're just starting your business, you will need to choose a CMS to manage content on your website. Then you should create Gmail accounts for yourself and your employees and then start using Google Apps. It's free and also a tool, and it allows you to create, edit, and collaborate with others on documents from PC, phone, and tablet. If it comes to productivity, I suggest to check out the Wunderlist, as it's a very easy to use to-do list. I use it myself and I like it a lot. Later, you can think about implementing to-do list and project management app for the whole team. You can check, for example, Basecamp or Trello. Last but not least, it's also good to think about better communication tool than email, especially when it comes to internal communication. There are less complicated ones like Skype or more advanced like Slack. It all depends on your budget and your needs. But if you want to stick with emails, I suggest using Outlook, as it's an irreplaceable email manager. In the past, I was managing a couple of email accounts and I was sending dozens of emails daily. And yep, I can confirm that Outlook is great in terms of keeping the track of all discussions.
Business Sidekick.
Okay, and now let's imagine that I'm starting a business and I'm asking you if you can give me a couple of examples of software that I could start with.
So what kind of business?
Let's say that I will be selling jogging shoes.
I would definitely suggest an email marketing solution, for example. So you can connect with your customers. Mm-hmm. So something like MailChimp, for example, is a great option. They have free option as well.
Mm-hmm. That's great for promotion, right? Like newsletters.
Yeah, exactly. If you want to contact your clients, I would say maybe some customer service software, because if you're selling something, you're likely going to run into customers with questions, and being able to track these customer queries, I think would be really, really important.
How about live chat?
Live chat's a great option.
Oh, I'm happy that you're saying that.
No, but I mean, there's things like live chat, for example, that really help you connect with customers immediately, so that you can solve problems that they have, or you can use more standard kind of ticketing system if people want to just email you, or have, or even if you want to just have a database where you have a section for frequently asked questions. People can go to and kind of do more of a self-service customer service. Mm-hmm. But as long as, I think it's important to have some touch point where customers can get a hold of you.
So the more is your company growing, the more applications you will need. You will have to consider choosing a right application for email management, for example, so you can gather your customers' emails in one place and you're able to send them email campaigns. So there are applications like MailChimp, GetResponse or Freshmail that will allow you to do so. If it comes to customer service, of course, live chat is a great tool. For example, our application is not only a real-time messenger, but it also has a ticketing system built in and keeps track of the team's performance and customer happiness. Later, as your business will be growing, you'll have to think definitely about a CRM. Customer relationship management software is very important, as it helps to keep track of all interactions that you have with your customers. For example, you can check Salesforce, Insightly or Zoho, which is free to use up to 10 users, so it's up to you.
Business Sidekick.
The world of applications is huge, and it's really difficult to find something that would fit you the best, but this is where websites like GetApp come in handy. It lists all categories of apps, and you can see user reviews, so you'll be able to decide if an application works for you or not. I hope that with this episode of Business Sidekick I helped you a bit, as we were talking about the most popular applications and software, both free and paid. My final word on this topic is always to remember to use password managers like 1Password or RoboForm. I don't know how about you, but I always forget passwords to all apps I'm using, so I'm happy to store them in one place.
Business Sidekick.
That's all for today. Remember that Business Sidekick is available on iTunes, Stitcher and SoundCloud, so don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If there is a topic you'd like to listen about, send me an email to podcast@livechatting.com. Thanks for listening. Take care.
This podcast was brought to you by LiveChat.